and give me a reason why. Okay, so go ahead and do that right now. I'm going to give you about 30 seconds, and then I'll open the chat for some of us to share. So when you answer questions for me in the chat, I want it in a complete sentence. Once you put it one time, please do not put it again. There's 231 students, so we want to get as many people to have a chance to share as possible. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and open the chat, and you're just sharing your favorite color and why. And maybe if I see a really good idea, I'm gonna obviously read it out loud. Okay, I need a complete sentence. That's the whole point of practicing this right now. So not just blue, but why. Oh, no one wants to share.
Hey guys, how's everyone doing? So, glad to hear it.
I like that.
So for those of you who are
Hi, Sean. My favorite color is blue because it makes me think of the beautiful sky. My favorite color is teal because it looks really pretty. It's not a supportive enough reason. My favorite color is teal because it makes me feel happy and calm. My favorite color is green because it reminds me of Ireland. That's fantastic. Please make a complete sentence, 940424. My favorite color is rainbow because it makes me happy. I like that, Anisha. That's cute. Remember, you guys are writing complete sentences. That's the whole point of practicing R and A. My favorite color is orange because it reminds me of the sunset. That's fantastic, Emmy. My favorite color is black because it goes with eerie. It reminds me of the night sky. I like that. My favorite color is pink because of house light and bright the color is. Remember, you want to reread what you share before you share it. My favorite color is black. I like the color black because it matches with almost every color. My favorite color is orange because it makes me feel calm. You copied calm from me. I'm just kidding. My favorite color is pink because it has a look of cool and has lots of shades. That's cool. My favorite color is yellow because it feels sunny and I like summer. I love that. Black is my favorite color because it reminds me of the race I came from. For example, my favorite color is green because it makes me think of nature. My favorite color is mint green because it is a calm color. Purple is my favorite color because everyone thinks there are boy colors and girl colors. Hey, purple is actually a royal color. So that's a great color to have like your favorite because it's a royal color just like navy blue is a royal color. My favorite color is blue because it makes me feel excited. My favorite color is blue since it symbolizes trust, loyalty, wisdom, confidence, intelligence, faith, trust, and heaven. Did you look that up, James, or write it yourself? Great examples. My favorite color is pink because it makes me feel warm inside. I like that, Caitlin. My favorite color is red because I like being fierce. Is that what it should say, BC? My favorite color is light blue because it's cool. My favorite color is pink because it's colorful. Blue because it's a beautiful clear sea that is blue like a blue diamond. My favorite color is pink. It's a bright color. Blue makes me feel better. Great job, boys and girls. You guys have some really great ideas. Okay, but we have to move on. I love them. Good job. And I like that we practiced writing complete sentences and it wasn't hard. Okay. All right. Now we're going to get to this reading. You guys should be able to see it. It says, text. For some minutes, Alice stood without speaking, looking out in all directions over the country. And a most curious country it was, from side to side, and the ground between us was divided up into squares by a number of little green hedges that reached from brook to brook. I declare it's marked out just like a large chessboard, Alice said at last. There ought to be some men moving about somewhere, and so there are, she added in a tone of delight, and her heart began to beat quick with excitement as she went on. It's a great, huge game of chess that's being played all over the world. If this is the world at all, you know. Oh, what fun it is. How I wish I was one of them. I wouldn't mind being a pawn. If only I might join. Though, of course, I should like to be a queen best. She glanced rather shyly at the real queen as she said this, but her companion only smiled pleasantly and said, "That's easily managed. You can be the white queen's pawn if you like, as Lily's too young to play, and you're in the second square to begin with. When you get to the 8th square, you'll be a queen." Just at that moment, somehow or other, they began to run. All right, so you're going to go ahead and do the questions, but remember, you're turning the question into an answer using R and A. So who is the main character in the story? You're going to put the main character in the story old text is, and then write your answer. Where is the setting? Describe in your own words. Okay. Does Alice expect to enjoy this part of her adventure or not? Right now I just want you to do the first 2 questions. 1 and 2. The main character and the setting. And I'm going to give you 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Go ahead and get started. You guys get a head start. Go. Oh, you're doing 1 and 2.
Not break, right? Huh? Go to bathroom then. Oh. What the heck? Trapezoid. Which one is trapezoid? This is the red one, the red one, the red one. That's
56 seconds.
You got a medal. Did you see that? Oh, Whoa. Class, I have more than 800. I will do one with you, Gordon. Don't worry, I will send one with you.
All right, time's up. All right. I'm going to open the chat. We're starting with the first one first. Who is the main character? Who is the main character in this story? Thank you, those of you making complete sentences. So I see Santaya, the main character of the story is Alice. That's great. Main character. So your sentence should have said the main character of the story old text is Alice. If you're just saying hi and hello, you're wasting time. I don't have time for that. So again, it should have been the main character of the story old text is Alice. Thank you, Arna and Aishin, for listening. Thank you. Good listeners. Great job. I can tell you're great listeners in class. ADWU2, thank you. Ishan, thank you. Thank you, Kiana, for listening. I appreciate that. All right, the next one, the setting. So you're going to say the setting of this place is and describe it in your own words. We're on to the next question. I want it in a complete sentence. You guys are going into 5th grade. Maybe you're in 6th grade. Maybe you're in 4th grade. You should be writing complete sentences. I've been a teacher for over 14 years, and I've taught mostly 4th, 5th, and 6th. And by 4th year, you should be writing complete sentences. Even in third, I've taught third too, and you should be writing complete sentences. The setting is a giant chessboard. I like that. Thank you. The setting of the place is a big chessboard. The setting of this place is a life-size chessboard. Alice is on a huge chessboard with a lot of chess pieces. Good job. The setting of this place is at her house by the chessboard. The setting in the old text is in the kingdom. This is talking a lot about queens. Okay. But it doesn't necessarily have to have queen. It's not necessarily in the old kingdom because the queen is the chess piece, right? So one of the chess pieces is called the queen. Big chessboard. Vibia, I'll tell you my email when we get back to the slides. The setting sounds like a house or a kingdom. And great job. Good job, boys and girls. Yes, William's got it there. It's so vibe. William, you just need to add OUS, but I turned it off for a second. Martin, everybody had the same answer, dear. So no one copied. All right, we're moving on. And we're moving on to the Hummingbird Garden. So I'm going to read it. And when I'm reading it, I want you to be listening. All right? Actually, this is not the one I want to do next. I'm sorry, boys and girls. We just have so many tabs open. All right, so we're going to do a quick sketch. If you have crayons or colored pencils next to you, you can use those. Or you just use your pencil. All right, so you're going to draw a picture of the character in the space. Make your picture look as much like the man in the paragraph as you can. I'm going to read it 2 times. The man entered the room. Everyone went quiet because he looked so amazing. He was very tall and had a bright blue hat. He wore a green suit with a yellow shirt. His hair and beard were bright red. His big brown eyes danced happily around the room. Even before he spoke, they could tell he was going to be interesting. I'm going to read it to you again. And this ties into us we're going to be going over character traits. Okay, so drawing the character. I'll read it to you one more time. The man in the room. Can you feel his presence? The man entered the room. Everyone went quiet because he looked so amazing. He was very tall and had a bright blue hat. He wore a green suit with a yellow shirt. His hair and beard were bright red. His big brown eyes danced happily around the room. Even before he spoke, they could tell he was going to be interesting. I'm going to give you a quick 1 minute to draw the man. This is kind of like a brain break because I know we all need those sometimes, so go ahead. Oops, I'm sorry. There you go. All right, time is up. So while you were drawing the man, I wanted you to try to think of some character traits that would describe him. So even though they don't tell us anything, I want you to think and make an inference. So when we make an inference, sometimes we read and we make a prediction based on what we read and what we know. So in this instance, I'm reading it to you and you're drawing him. So what might his personality be like? Because he walked in the room and he stopped. Everyone stopped to look at him. So right now I'm going to open the chat really fast. And again, you're making an inference. It's another reading skill that you're going to use based on what you know and based on what you think. You're going to make an inference on what you think his character traits might be. I know, I'm taking notes too. And I always like to write in purple. I always edit my work in purple too. So right now I'm going to open the chat and you're going to share some ideas of character traits. So character traits are like caring, kind, mischievous, Strong, brave, those are character traits. Remember, those are usually adjectives that describe someone. So right now I want you to we're going to create a quick list that describes a man. Now, happy's boring, silly's boring, confident, that's a great one. Interesting, handsome, great job. I'm going to write them down. Confident, interesting, no, cool's boring. Boys and girls, you elegant, that's a great one. Handsome, you want to grow your vocabulary, so you want to stay away from boring words. Optimistic, that's a good one. Intelligent, outstanding. Well, outstanding is really not. Outstanding would be like describing something. Graceful, that's a good one. Positive energy. That's good. Excellent doesn't really describe someone. Good looking is handsome. Bold, that's good. Don't put kind-hearted, that's good. Good. Helpful, okay. Michael, can you please remove E and Yang, please? It's IANYANG, E and Yang. He needs to be removed, please. Remember, if you have nothing nice to say, please don't say it and don't spam.
Remember where it is. It's in the middle. Okay?
Thanks, Michael. All right. Thank you guys for I like that. Strong, brave. Thank you guys for your ideas. All right. So to tie in, let's see the next thing, because I have something I want us to do that's fun, but I don't know if we have enough time. Oh my goodness. All right. We're going to go back to the hummingbird. I'm going to read it, and I want you guys to listen, okay? Let me see. It's not that one. All right. I want you to think about what the lesson is in the short story, okay? The Hummingbird Garden. Malik sighed a heavy sigh. His teacher had assigned him homework, finishing a story that was already half written. The teacher gave everyone 2 stories, both of which were half written, and the children had to finish one of them. The first story was about 2 trees in the woods talking to each other. It was simply too dull for words. Dull is another great word. A thin, raspy voice near him said, "Interesting way to put it." Malik looked around his room. Not much to look at. A bed, a bureau with the drawers open and clothes hanging out, a bookshelf with toys and books and other stuff, a desk where he was sitting, now with a pencil, a pad of paper, and a glass of water, a circular rug on the floor, and on a table in the corner there was a small plant, half brown and half green. Nothing could have said anything, thought Malik. It might just be my imagination. The same small, raspy voice said, "That's good to know." "What's good to know?" Malik asked the unseen voice. "That you have an imagination," was the reply. That's another great word to know, imagination. Malik shrugged and started reading the other half-finished story. This half-finished story was about a blue bottle on a shelf that had something small inside it. You were supposed to guess at what the object was and write the rest of the story. Probably just a penny, thought Malik. Suddenly, there was a rattling sound. Ching, ching, chinky, chinky. Malik looked around at his plane. Same room, the same bed, the same bureau, the same plant on a table in the corner. Was it closer now? The same shelves with the same books and games. And was that blue bottle always there? The thin, raspy voice said, "Ooh, this is giving me chills." "No, it's new." And again, rattling sound, ching, 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 ching. Malik pinched himself. "No, I'm not dreaming good thing," he thought. "I have to finish this story before I go to bed." He wondered what story he would tackle. The dull trees talking. Trees don't talk. And if they did, what would they say? Their raspy voice, very softly, but somehow even closer, said maybe they are really thirsty, or the blue bottle with something inside it. Who cares about some silly penny? The rattle was louder now. Ching ching, ching ching. Sounds more like a quarter, thought Malik. Suddenly, Malik realized that the room was answering his thoughts. The talking plant, the rattling blue bottle with something inside. He looked right at the plant. Now that he looked right at it, maybe for the first time ever, he realized it was more like a small tree than a plant, and it looked like it needed water. What would you say if you could talk? He asked the small tree. A thin, harsh voice, which seemed to come from nowhere, said, "First, I would ask for a drink." "And then?" prompted Malik. "First, I would ask for a drink," repeated the tree. Easy enough, thought Malik. He grabbed a glass of water from his desk and poured it into the tree's dirt. The voice was still thin, but now less dry and raspy. "Thank you." Less dry and raspy, thought Malik, but before he could ask if the tree wanted more water, the tree said, "That was plenty, thanks. It takes some time for the water to get to my leaves." The blue bottle rattled again. Ching, 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 ching. "Maybe you should look," suggested the plant. Malik began to sigh out of habit, but realized he was not bored. He was actually curious to learn what was inside this new blue bottle. "I hope it's not a penny," he said aloud. "As do I," said the tree. So Malik picked up the surprisingly heavy blue bottle, tipped it over, and shook the object into his hand. It was a small brown coin, a penny. Disappointing, thought Malik. "Look more closely," prodded the tiny tree, which was now more green than brown and had perked up a bit. Malik went to put the blue bottle down, but then realized he was no longer holding the blue bottle. It had disappeared right from his hands. He looked around, but the blue bottle was nowhere to be seen. "That's odd," thought Malik. The tree said, "Not as odd as some other things." Malik looked closely at it, the penny in his hand, but it wasn't a penny, it was a token. A token that read, "Admit one," and something else covered in grime. He wet his finger and rubbed the penny to read, "First Street Hummingbird Garden." "What's a hummingbird garden?" he asked aloud, looking at the small tree, which by now had completely regained its green coloring. It even looked a bit taller, more tree-like. The tree asked, "What do you think it is?" The boy answered, "I guess like a butterfly garden, an enclosed area you can be with butterflies, but for hummingbirds." The tree explained, "Wouldn't that be lovely?" And suddenly, pop, 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 3 tiny white flowers appeared on the tree. Malik stared at the coin. "Admit one," he read out loud. "This hummingbird garden must have existed at one time." He continued to read, "First Street. The school is on 38th Street, so I bet there's a First Street in this town." He placed the coin on his desk. "Don't go anywhere," he said to the tree. "I have to go ask my dad about this." Malik ran from the room. He returned excited, talking at a very fast, breathless pace. "My dad said that First Street used to be a giant amusement park with rides and parks. He was just a boy when they closed it down, and he doesn't remember Hummingbird. And now it's a broken down area with empty lots and piles of garbage. But he also said what he said. Wouldn't that be lovely?" And Malik stopped suddenly. The little tree was back in the corner, more brown than green. It had no white flowers, and its dirt was bone dry. In a panic, he looked down at his desk where he put the coin, and it was still there. "Admit one, First Street Hummingbird Garden." He sighed a happy sigh and picked up his pen. He still had to complete this assignment, so he waited to write this all down quickly before he forgot, even though none of it really happened, or had it, he wrote. The first story was about 2 trees in the woods talking to each other. It was simply too dull for words. Then he stopped suddenly. Before he wrote another word, he had to do something. He had to water his small, thirsty tree. Not yet the end. 2 days later, the teacher was returning the assignments and said, "As you know, these were not graded, and everyone who turned it in did a great job. But I wanted to say something about Malik's story." The other children looked at Malik, and sadly to Malik, many expected he was in trouble. "Oh, what did he do?" One asked, "Did you do something wrong?" The teacher laughed. "Ha ha ha, well, yes and no. We were supposed to pick one story to finish, and Malik kind of finished them both together." And he smiled at Malik. "It's really quite wonderful." Still not the end. 20 years later, Malik Calloway, now all grown up, walked up to the ticket taker at the brand new First Street Hummingbird Garden. He had decided to rebuild the amusement park on First Street, complete with the rides and parks, of course. The Hummingbird Garden, he filled it with small trees with white flowers. The young man at the ticket counter asked him for his ticket, and Malik smiled. He reached into his pocket and pulled out an old brown coin and handed it to the man. The man said, "Sorry, sir, but we only accept tickets here, not coins or tokens." Malik laughed. He said to the ticket taker, "I think you'll see that this coin will work just fine." Okay, so I want you guys to write down right now a lesson that you learned from this short story. Again, a complete sentence. So in the short story, the Hummingbird Garden, the lesson was, and then you write it down. I'll give you 1 minute for that. Okay, and you're writing the lesson learned in the Hummingbird Garden. So when the timer goes off, I'll open the chat and you guys can share your lesson from the Hummingbird story. Okay, so I'll open the chat. You're going to share your lesson from the Hummingbird story. So go ahead. Remember, it's a complete sentence. What was the lesson in the Hummingbird story? I would like a complete sentence, please, Shirley. Thank you. Yes, I know, William. That's why I'm trying to wrap it up. Thanks, William. Thank you, Ishan. The lesson in the Hummingbird story is to believe in yourself. Great job. I'm seeing some ideas, but I'm not seeing complete sentences. The lesson in the story is to never give up. The lesson in the story is never judge a book by its cover. Good. Thank you, BC. In the Hummingbird story, the lesson was use your imagination. Great. In the Hummingbird story, I learned to never give up. In the Hummingbird Garden, the lesson was to always use your imagination and don't lose your dream. I think that's fantastic, Brianna. I love that. I'm even going to take its picture. I think that could make a really great quote. I love that. Great job, Brianna. Hair high five. And thank you again, William. You're a fantastic timekeeper. I'm sure in your class, your teacher had you doing that job. I think the lesson in the story in the Hummingbird Garden is your imagination can lead a long way. Great job, Ariana. Air high five. I think the lesson in the story should be that you should use your imagination and be open to ideas. Great job, Abija. Great job, boys and girls. Well, we just only have 2 minutes. So I just went back to the slides. And if there's any questions or goals you have or things that you're interested in reading, please go ahead and share them now. Please do not spam the chat. The main idea is don't judge, okay? If you need to poodle, that's fine. It's okay, Caleb. Thank Thank you, Ashan. Does anyone have any questions or things they want to share, any goals or any positive affirmations they want to say? Remember, when we don't like reading, we want to be positive about it so we can create that connection, okay? So I always say, don't let the words win. Don't let the words win. Be positive. I would love to read some novels, but we only have 3 more classes, so it's not long enough for me to be reading. But I think you should be reading lots of novels. Thank you, Ashan. That means a lot to me. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Brianna. I'm trying to make it as interesting as I possibly can. Thank you, guys. It's been fun. You guys still have 1 more minute if you guys want to share anything. That's right, William. Always read even if you don't want to. Thank you, Ashia. I hope I'm saying it right. I don't like saying names wrong. Be able to read faster? Okay, it's practice. Thanks, Nathan. Bye, Anna. Bye, Caleb. Bye, Charlotte. Thank you. Whoever said I love the class, thank you. Bye, guys. Thank you. You're welcome, Pranika. Bye. Thank you. ADWU too. Thank you, Markeisha. Any more questions? Okay, class is over, boys and girls, so if you have to go, bye. I'll see you guys on Thursday. Bye. I'll see you guys on Thursday. You had so much fun. I'm glad you had fun. We'll go over more character traits on Thursday. Bye, Annabelle. Thank you. All right, BC, we get it. Don't do that next class. All right, boys and girls, I have another session, so make sure you have a really good afternoon and day, and you are helpful at home. Thanks, Michael. You can go ahead and close it out. Thank you. Bye, guys. Bye, everyone. You can go ahead and end it, Michael. It's okay. Thank you.